Hello, Watem here and welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Once again, this is coming out in like 12 hours, so yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to actually record some more on Saturday. In any case, let us continue.
ならってわけだな。ゲストハウスにガキどもの様子を見に行く間、俺たちは屋敷の中を調べてみる。
Ah, yes. Great idea. Split the party, so that then you can be ambushed separately. Divide and conquer and all that.
考えたくねえ。こんな薄気味悪い落書きがここだけってことはねえかもしれない。親父殿のおかしなゲームに巻き込まれているのかもしれんな。私は親父殿のところへ行って事情を聞いてみよう。まあ素直に話を聞いてくれるとは思えんがね。
Slight issue. He's dead. The adults split up. As a result, they confirmed that the 4 children were safe in the so-called cousin's ring on the 2nd floor of the guest house. On the other hand, he could definitely go up to the study and try to knock and not receive an answer, and that wouldn't really tell them anything, really, would it? They had apparently stayed up late last night playing. All of them were snoring loudly, so Rosa decided not to wake them. Furthermore, Nanja, who had returned early the previous night to rest, was also safe. It seemed he believed in the phrase early to bed, early to rise, and had woken refreshed. Probably the only person to do so. During that time, Kiria and Hideyoshi searched for the servants, but they didn't find them. The servant room in the guest house was also empty.
子供たちは無事よ。みんな夜更かしのしすぎね。
使用人室は空っぽや。勤務表を見ても早番は6時からってことになっとる。もうお勤めをしてなきゃならん頃や。
仮眠室も空っぽよ。布団を抜け出した跡はあるけど暖かくはなかったわ。
こらクラウス兄さんたちの想像が当たったんとちゃうか。
That the servants behind Beatrice.
多分お父さんの指示で仕組んだゲームなんや。あの不気味な落書きを残してどこかに姿を隠してわしらに何かをさせたいに違いないんや。
Solve the riddle?
遺産や家督を誰が引き継ぐにふさわしいか確かめようっていうことですか。いくらなんでもそれは。
いいえ、お父様だったらそういうことをしてもおかしくないかもしれない。
何しろお父さんは大仕掛けが大好きや。例の碑文を大広間に掲げた時から練りに練った計画だったのかもしれへんで。
ならゲームの開始宣言もしくはゲームの説明などがあったりはしないのかしら。
Nope. Well, actually, in a way, yes. You've already had the announcement. That's the Epitaph.
マリアちゃんに渡したような紋章入りの封筒が出てきても良さそうだけど。
そうね。
I think you will find that envelope. Eventually.
ひょっとすると屋敷で兄さんたちがそれを見つけたかもしれないわね。
Along with the bodies.
南條先生、あんたなんか聞いてませんか。
申し訳ありませんが、私にも何が何だかさっぱりです。ただ、なるほど。金蔵さんが何かを企んで大仕掛けを打つことは私にも容易に想像できます。
一度屋敷に戻らんか。なんか向こうで見つけたかもしれんで。
あ、お邪魔でなければ私もご一緒いたしましょう。
私はここに残るわ。
Right, because forgot that they hadn't wakened the children. Right.
上にマリアたちが寝てる。何が起こってるかわからないんだもの。子供たちを放ってはいけないわ。
そうね。私もローザさんとここで留守番してるわ。うちの人にそう伝えていただけませんか。
Ah, dear. Information gaps. Rosa and Kyrie remained in the guest house. Hideyoshi went with Nanjo and returned once again to the mansion. So currently the possible pairs for the second Twilight would be Kraus and Natsuhi, or Ever and Hideyoshi. I doubt it could be Kyrie and Rudolph, because they're currently separated at the moment. Well, physically separated, not the partner terms. At the same time in the mansion, in a way that was hard to believe, or maybe we should say in a way that gave him a bad feeling. Rudolph's prediction was spot on. Which prediction? The same magic circle graffiti had been drawn on the doors to the boiler room and the parlour. Had been found in multiple places throughout the mansion.
兄貴、親父の方はどうだ？いや、ダメだ。
Is it the same drawing?
何の反応もない。一応扉に耳も当ててみたのだが、何の気配も感じなかった。
使用人の姿はどこにもありません。一体どこへ姿を消したのやら。冗談じゃないわ。お父様も使用人も姿を消し、屋敷中のあちこちにおかしな魔法陣だらけ。
I've just kind of noticed this. Eva and Beatrice, do you have fairly similar hair colors?
一体何が起こってるっていうのよ。
Maybe just seeing the comparison of their hairs next to each other that made me realize that. There weren't only magic circles on the door to the boiler room and the door to the parlour. There were 2 on the second floor, and 1 on the third floor, for a total of 5. They were all the same magic circle, and all of the doors had been locked, so they couldn't check inside the rooms.
とにかくまずはボイラー室を何とかしよう。何かの故障で火事になったりとか爆発したりとかしたら大変だ。となりゃ鍵だな。
使用人室にキーボックスがあったはずです。
I feel like they're going to have to break into one of the rooms to get the keys. They fished through that key box, because each of the servants carried their master keys around. Those weren't kept there. However, all of the individual keys should have been there.
よくもこれだけぎっしりと鍵があるものだよ。
ないわ。何度探してもボイラー室の鍵が見つからないわ。
見ろよ姉貴。例の魔法陣の書かれた部屋の鍵だけが
I'm missing.
綺麗にぽっかりと抜けてるぜ。
Are they within the room? I'm going to wonder, are they within the same room or are they like chained? Like room A has a key to room B, which has a key to room C, etc.
本当ですね。これは困りました。まるで魔法陣の部屋に入ってほしくないかのようね。
Oh, they want you to go in. They just want you to know that the keys are in there as well.
いいえ、わざわざ魔法陣でアピールしてるんだから入ってほしいのかしら。
俺は後者だと思うぜ。扉をぶち破るのは映画じゃあるまいし無理だろう。
Surely you have, like, I mean, it would be rather destructive, but you'd have like an axe or something to be able to break in.
窓を破ればなんとかなるかもな。
And yeah, smashing a window. For a while, Kraus pondered over whether this situation really called for smashing a window. Maybe look in through the window to see what's in the rooms first, anyway. At the time, Hideyoshi and Nanjo returned. There was nothing strange in the guest house, and the children were safe. They told the others that Rosa and Kyrie had stayed to watch over the place. I am suspicious of any information gap that we get from this, though.
おはようございます。
We don't know. So, from the guest house point of view, we don't know for sure that they actually returned to the mansion. And from the mansion point of view, we don't actually know for sure that they said that they'd stay in the guest house.
何やらおかしなことになったそうですな。おはようございます、南條先生。早朝から起こしてしまったようで申し訳ありませんが。
なんや、 手紙の類は見つからんのか。わしはてっきりそういうのが見つかったとばかり思っとったんや。
そうね。私もこれはお父様の壮大な冗談か何かのゲームだと信じてる。でもそうなら必ずそれを伝える手紙があるはずよね。マリアちゃんに手紙を与えたように。
I do wonder how they'll find the bodies as well, or what state the bodies will be in.
ゲーム開始宣言はまさにあのマリアちゃんの手紙だったのかもしれねえぜ。
Just want to have a quick look at what the character profiles are saying at the moment. All are alive, supposedly. I guess until we find the bodies directly.
碑文の謎を解いてみろと。すでにゲームの内容は示されてるさ。なら屋敷から5つも見つかった魔法陣にはどんな意味があるというのかね。
So they're still missing one.
姿の見えない使用人もだ。
夏日姉さん、使用人って今日は全部で何人いたかしら。
現地に合田に5人ですが何か。
使用人が5人、魔法陣も5つか。偶然だろうが気になるな。
It's not a coincidence.
兄さん、窓を破りましょう。中を確認するべきだわ。
Or at least,
仕方ないな。
yeah,
綺
look
麗
in
に
through the
頼む
window.
よ。
Kraus made his decision and gave permission to smash a window. And he decided that the first room they would break into should be the parlor on the first floor. The windows would be easiest to reach. They had hoped to peek in through the window, but the curtains were down, so they couldn't see inside. That makes sense, I guess. Rudolph wandered around the garden, trying to find something that would be good for smashing the window. Eventually, he found a rock bigger than a fist, and came back.
全部割ることはないわよ。鍵が回せる程度に開けてくれれば十分。
あまり期待には添えないかもしれないぜ。
Rudolph raised the rock and hit the glass with it several times. Eventually, he succeeded in opening a hole big enough that he could unlock it from the outside. Covering his hand with a handkerchief, he stuck his hand through that hole and cautiously unlocked it.
後でガムテープで塞いだ方がいいだろうな。雨が吹き込んじまうぜ。
When he suddenly opened the window, the wind and rain made the curtain dance around violently. That curtain was blown to the side, revealing... they could see into a path they knew well. They were a little relieved until they thought there might be another bizarre magic circle inside the room. Or possibly the traces of some creepy ceremony. In any event, they didn't want to hang around in the rain, so the six of them, Kraus, Natsui, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph and Nanjo, entered the parlor as a group.
特に変わったところはないようですな。
Huh.
どうしましたか、シャノン。ちょっと、大丈夫なの？
Hang on. How long did it take for them to realize?
どうしたのよ、あんた。
チア南條先生見たってや。
おい、シャノンちゃん、大丈夫か？返事をしろい。揺さぶってはいけません。今、容体を見ます。
She had been in the shadow of a sofa, so they hadn't noticed her until they'd entered the room. Shannon was lying on the floor, her chest stained bright red with blood.
おーい、バトラー、どこだ？ほら、シャノンの死体が出てきたぞ。
So all the bodies are separated. 5 out of the 6 though. I'm wondering about that. I would... Especially with how he was described to have died, I would have expected... what's his name? Family head. No, I want the human side. Kinzo. I would have expected Kinzo to be in the boiler room. Inside the boiler itself. Or the furnace itself, I guess. But that was one of the 5 that they found. So then where's the final servant? Final servant would be names are escaping me at the moment. Again, I want the human side. Stop pretending to be the human side with which side? Kumasawa, who might not have a corpse, or alternatively, maybe the corpse is in like the maintenance shed thing, like the first time. Although only the 5 rooms are keys were apparently taken.
もういじめねえから出てこいよ。
If the keys are changed room by room, maybe they'll find the key to that storehouse thing, the shed. And after they find that, then they'll check the shed and then realise, oh, there's another one.
おー、いたいた。そんなところで頭抱えて何してんだよ。
Battler was crouching under the table, holding his head. His pitiful figure made it plainly clear that he didn't want to see anything. He didn't want to hear anything. Had he heard Beatrice's sneering voice? Could he not hear? Or was he pretending that he couldn't hear? In any event, it was clear that he'd closed up his heart like a shell.
少しお嬢様がいじめすぎたのではないでしょうか。あれだけのものを見せつけて反論を迫っては塞ぎ込みたくなる気持ちも分かろうというものですよ。
なあバトラー、反論がないならリザインを頼むぜ。お前の手番なんだ。何か刺すとかパスするとか。
He can't make a move, he's still sleeping.
さもなきゃ降参するとかしてくれねえと話が前に進まねえよ。え？なになに？聞こえないぞ。
黙れっつってんだ。ああ、うるせえうるせえうるせえ。何か魔女だ、何か魔法だ。好き勝手にやればいいじゃねえかよ。俺は信じねえ、何も信じねえ。クソクソクソクソ。俺に話しかけるな、何も見せるな、消えろ消えろ消えちまえ。
I'm kind of now wondering, back to the very start of this episode, as it were, like when it said, I'm trying to remember the exact wording. I think when it said the difficulty was fair for you and fair for the witch. I'm not sure. You might not necessarily be in reference to Battler, I guess. Might be to us as a player. I don't know. This certainly doesn't quite seem like it's going fairly for him.
俺にそのムカつく顔を近づけるな。
Beatrice winced reflexively, at Battler's sudden rage.
そうは言うがな、お前の手番が終わらんとわらわの手番も来ぬ。あまりわらわを退屈させるなと言いたいのだが。
Wasn't what I was expecting her to say.
知るかよ、黙れよ、うるせえんだよ。お前のゲームなんか知るかよ。付き合ってらんねえんだよ。俺の番が終わらねえとてめえの番が来ねえってんなら永遠に待ってやがりゃいいだろうが。ああ、知らねえ知らねえ、わからねえ。魔女も魔法も認めねえ。あんなめちゃくちゃも認めねえ。ああ、俺に話しかけるなっつってんだ。
Right. Is that him doing it, or what was that? What's that all about? What? I don't know what's what anymore. Yeah, that seems fair. Having shown something that screwed up, how could I resist? Does he unlock his hidden magical potential? I wandered aimlessly through the rose garden. It was raining and windy. That didn't mean my body got wet. There was just a feeling of isolation as I wandered amidst the wind and rain without an umbrella.
俺はひょっとするとあいつのゲームにとっくの昔に負けているのかもしれねえな。
Actually, didn't we already have a clear winner and loser in the last game? After all, I surrendered for a time. That's why the world was tinted with witches and magic. Right now, MangaGamer is a different world. The witches stride around openly and fire off strange spells. It isn't a matter of accepting it or denying it. Maybe I was mistakenly assumed that I was playing a game on an even footing with Beato. Maybe I was already defeated in the last game. It was just the signing ceremony of my surrender. A minute ago, a terrible battle unfolded in this rose garden. I saw it with my own eyes. Well, did you though? I kicked the ground. Obviously the ground was hard, and the water from a puddle splashed. Several towers had split this ground, sprouting like high-rise buildings. The more I kicked this ground, the more it felt like that couldn't possibly have happened. But, for that very reason, I couldn't explain it with anything other than magic anymore.
密室に鍵が閉じ込められてとかってやつならよくある推理小説の延長だろってことはわかるさ。でもあのドッカンドッカンってのはな。
Keep in mind that you're being shown this specifically. I don't think you can necessarily trust it.
くそー。
Just say it's some pretty good CG.
私の弟子が随分と迷惑をかけているようですね。
Oh, you're still alive?
あんた。
Someone suddenly spoke to me, so I turned around. Also, in all of this, Bianca still, where are you? And in the rose garden above was the predecessor Beatrice, whom Beatrice had supposedly defeated a short while ago. Beatrice.
てっきり死んだと思ったぜ。生きてたのか。
いいえ、死にましたよ。今の私は取られた駒がチェス盤の外でくつろいでいるだけに過ぎません。
Waiting for the next game to be set up.
あんたはベアトの師匠なんだろう。ってことはつまりあんたも魔女ってわけか。
ええ、そうですよ。
ってことはつまりやっぱり魔女はいるってことで決まりなわけだろ。そしてあいつを倒せるのは俺じゃない。すげえ魔法使えるあんたの方じゃねえか。俺はもうお役御免さ。俺にできることなんてもう何もね
え。おやおや、すっかり屈服してしまいましたか。
屈服も何もあれをどう説明すりゃいいんだよ。
Capitulate.
塔が生えたり落ちてきたり、でっけえ巨人が盾を構えたり槍を投げたり。ああ、思い出すだけでも気が変になりそうだぜ。もう推理もヘチマもあったもんじゃねえ。
I mean, the quickest way to really resolve it is to make us say in red that what I see actually happens.
トリックとか人間犯人説とかそんな領域をとっくに超えてるだろ。ああ、畜生畜生畜生畜生。
I mean, no matter what, she can't actually say it in red because either way she'd be either directly confirming it or denying it. Well, she'd be directly confirming it, which she doesn't want to do. And if it didn't happen, well then she also can't confirm it with red.
落ち着いて。私はあの子のゲーム版の駒に過ぎない。 こうして番外へ取り除かれてしまえばもはや何もできない存在。しかしあなたはあの子の対戦相手。あなたが自ら投げ出さない限り、あなたには常にあの子に一矢報いる力があるのだから。
Just had a thought. With the cross, I guess, thinking of chess again, maybe he's the king. You know, because the king typically has the cross on the top of it. So he is limited in his own movement. He might have his own pieces later. Maybe he doesn't realize that he has other pieces at the moment. But yeah, he's the one that needs to not be checkmated.
うるせえ。あんただっておかしな呪文を唱えて投打の槍だのを呼び出してたじゃねえかよ。何を一矢報いるってんだよ。俺にも魔法を教えてくれたあいつとあの大魔法バトルを繰り広げろっていうのかよ。
あなたが望むなら、あなたに魔法の一端を教えてあげてもいいですよ。
そりゃあ願ったり叶ったりだぜ。あいつの胸板にズドンと打ち込んでやれるようなすっげえ魔法一発頼むぜ。
You think if she could teach you that, she would have just won herself?
なめんなってんだ。
日本の魔法に雨乞いの儀式というものがあるそうですね。ご存知ですか？
雨乞い？バンバン火をくべて演武を奉納して雨を祈るっていうあれか？
I was thinking the paper dolls, I think.
あれは魔法じゃねえだろ。火で上昇気流ができて、その結果雨雲が集まるっていうれっきとした化学現象のはずだぜ。
There's no way that a fire is actually large enough to cause that kind of effect repeatedly.
おや、私は東洋魔法の一つだと信じていましたが、魔法ではないのですか。天に聖なる火を捧げ、敬いの演武を捧げることで、神々の心に雨乞いの嘆願が届くものと信じておりましたよ。
I mean, sure, with how chaotic weather is, it might have some effect on the weather, but it's not going to be large enough effect to directly cause your local area to immediately get rain in a very repeatable fashion.
大昔の連中はそうだったろうよ。でもその手のオカルトは大抵科学的に説明がつくもんだ。
Yeah, so actually kind of reminded of something that was explained in the Apothecary Diaries recently. In like a region where they often get poor harvests, maybe when they get one of those poor harvests, they offer one of the villagers as a sacrifice to be able to get better harvests. And yeah, with some basis in the nutrients from their bodies going back into the soil to replenish the missing minerals that have been overfarmed. But then when you start, you forget the reasoning for it, and you get a bad harvest because of some kind of pest, like locusts come and eat all your crops. And then you start sacrificing people because that's what you do. And so now you've got all these sacrificed people that really didn't have any actual benefit to it.
物が燃えるのはどうしてですか？
Well, it's you see, reduction oxidization reactions are very highly energetic and release a lot of heat.
物質にフロギストンが含まれているから。
No, 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 no. I mean, you don't even need oxygen to have a reduction oxidization reaction. Although it is most convenient.
いや、物が燃えるのは酸化反応だ。フロギストン説はラボアジェが否定したはずだぜ。
物に熱が 伝わるのはどうしてですか？物質にカロリックが含まれているからでは？
そいつは確かジュールが否定したはずだ。
I haven't heard of that one. Caloric, I would just think, yeah, like the amount of energy you get from burning it, for example. The caloric content. So typically with fuel, or with food rather, to be able to find out how much energy it has, they'll basically burn it and see how much heat that releases.
熱はエネルギーであって物質じゃない。
Yeah. Well, heat is energy, yes. Say it's not a substance. So it would be stored within the bonds of molecules, which in a way is part of a substance. Like, and also you always have, heat is. Well, actually, yeah, energy is matter in a way. E equals mc squared. So if you add energy to something and heat to something, you can actually notice, not within chemical reaction scales, but with very, very, very fine-tuned measurements, you can actually see a very tiny little increase in mass. It's so tiny though because, speed of light being one of the constants in that equation. And not only that, it's squared. So yeah, it's a very tiny amount, barely perceptible. In terms of chemical reaction scales, it's reasonable to say that mass is conserved with reactions. And for the most part, yes, the mass part of it is conserved, but the energy causing that mass is slightly different or transferred to another location.
よくお勉強していますね。正しい知識ですよ。
ちょいとした雑学レベルだがな。
フロギストもカロリックも、果てはエーテルも、神の愛さえも。科学的な説明の前には無力ですね。私はかつて木からリンゴが落ちるのは、人に食を与えるための神の愛のおかげだと聞かされましたよ。
Haven't heard about one.
重力すらも神の愛なのか？まあ、科学より宗教が万物を説明した時代の名残だろうぜ。
その通りです。人類はかつて自らの知識の限界を、いいえ、無知そのものを魔法と呼んだのです。先ほどの雨乞いの話はまさにそれでしょう。太古の人々が火が熱を生み上昇気流を生み出して雲を呼ぶことを科学的に理解していたでしょうか。理解せずともそういう結果になることだけは知っていた。
そういうのは結構あるかもな。先人たちの知恵ってやつさ。理由は分からずとも長い経験でそういう結果が得られることを知っていた。原理を理解できない現象は多分彼らにとっては魔法も同然だったろうな。
And I do think I will be ending it there for today, because I've kind of been getting sidetracked by this whole conversation, but I do need to have this edited and uploaded soon. It's already past midnight. So I will be ending it there for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And yeah, until next time. See ya.